Hello guys, welcome to another episode of the Whiskey Diaries. My name is Macallan, I'm going to be your host, and today we're going to talk about Macallan edition number 4. We have done the previous 3, so you can watch it in our videos. The edition number 4 represents the commemoration of the new distillery in 2018. Macallan has been doing this new edition since 2016, and they do a release every year representing different parts of different industries. So number 1 was actually the Master Whiskey Master Bob, that basically he just picked all his favorite barrels and just created a new one. Edition number 2 was a collaboration with one of the best restaurants in the world, and then edition number 3 was a collaboration with one of the most renowned perfumers in the world, focusing in aromas and smell. Edition number 4, as I said, is just a commemoration of the new distillery, which is actually incredible what they did this. So a lot of focus on renewable energy, a lot of focus on just respecting the nature around them. The whole thing is covered by grass. It's actually a beautiful thing to see. If you ever go to Scotland, it's definitely worth visiting. So this one was 100% done by Nick Savage. Nick Savage was at the time in 2018 at the Master Distiller. Nowadays he works at Bladnoch. But the great thing about these editions, though, is the amount of information that you get from not only the box, but what you can find online. The editions, basically what the focus on each edition is more about flavor and aroma and experience whiskey than what the age says on the bottle. And this is something that Macallan's been doing since around 2013 or so on 14, when they started releasing the no age statement releases that were the ruby, the amber and the sienna, all representing color but also age, no age statement, and more focusing on the tasting and the aroma of the whiskey. This is something that is not new, not super new, but it's been happening in the last 10 years, in which whiskey distilleries they've been focusing on trying to teach the customer on that an age on the bottle doesn't mean that the whiskey is better. An age on the bottle basically represents what the youngest whiskey is that goes in the bottle, but doesn't give you any ideas on what the flavor of the aroma of the whiskey will be. I have tried whiskeys that were 30-year-old compared to a 12 or a 10-year-old, and the 10-year-old would have more flavor, or like a more complexity than a 30-year-old. So that's what they're trying to do. None of the editions so far has had any age statement, but they do tell you a lot about the wood and what they used. In this particular case, there's been seven types of wood that they aged this whiskey in. All are mixed between butts, hogsheads, and sorry, was the other one? And puncheons. All the rest of the information is on the back of the label. So in this case, it's 18% on puncheons, 40% on hogshead, and 42% on butts. Now, the important thing that you need to take about this particular information is the fact that the smaller the barrel, the more surface contact you cut with the whiskey, so it gives a lot more strong flavors. The bigger the barrel, it gives you less contact with the wood, so it's more like lighter flavors. So you need to balance that out. So that's why they pick different barrels and different sizes. Puncheon, to give you an idea, is between 550 and 600 liters. The hogshead is between 500 and 500 liters, and the butt is about 450 to 500 liters. Depending on the distillery and depending how they make them, all those barrels vary a little bit on sizes and all that stuff, but it's not that big. So again, this is 100% sherry seasoned American and European oak from different sherry producers in Spain. Macallan has one of the best relationships in Jerez with sherry producers that you can find. It's basically, that's all they've been doing for the last couple of 100 years, is basically aging everything in sherry. And Macallan has probably the best wood program that you can see from any distillery. So now we're going to proceed to just try this whiskey. This one is 48.4. So each edition has a different ABV matching the edition. So edition number 1 is only 48. Edition number 2 is 48.2. Edition number 3 is 48.3, and edition number 4 is 48.4. I actually particularly really like the little quirkiness. It's a kind of like a correlation with each of individual editions. All of these are 100% limited release. Once they're out, and so that makes them highly collectible. Edition number 1 in 2016 came out at $180 a bottle, and 4 years later sells for almost more than $2,000 if you can find it. So edition number 4, yeah, that's 100% Macallan through and through. Is so much sherry. It's like almost like sherry bomb. Like it's 100%. You can just smell it, compared to like something like edition number 3 that we mentioned before, which has a lot more, it's more delicate, it has more nose forward. This one is, yeah, you can 100% just taste the Macallan. It has a great palate weight on the back of the throat, burns a little bit more than the other versions, but nothing undesirable. It just has a little bit more punch. I'm assuming that's for the 48.4 ABV, but definitely a sherry bomb, and definitely like basically this is Macallan through and through. This like you could, yeah, it's actually delicious. So hopefully we'll see you next time. Slan Jabbar.